Oh, absolutely, and always a pleasure to be joined by Kelly Sutherland. It's our annual date here, and so good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Jill.
Now, this is great to see you. We've been taking a bit of a trip down memory lane, and that you have many, many stampedes under your belt, and you've been racing, well, outriding since '67, racing since 1969, and tell us a little bit about how this has changed for you in the last few years. I mean, you have a couple years that you can still be doing this.
Yeah, well, of course, the sport in them days, Calgary was only 6 days long, and track was a half-mile, little low wooden grandstand, and the ag building, the brick building, was a backstretch, you know, and the outside fence would run into one end of it, and then at the other end it'd start again. So, of course, it was the hugest event, the biggest outdoor show there on earth. So when I come out of the Peace Country there in '66, I was 14. I was working for Dave Lewis. It was just shocking, you know, to come down here and see all the big event going on, because all the other meets in the north were 2 days or a one-day fair. So it's progressed. Of course, the biggest show I think there is anywhere in the world now, certainly for rodeo and chuckwagon racing.
And we were talking to rookie driver Chad Fike earlier. Do you remember your first race as a driver?
Yeah, oh, for sure. The first race at the Calgary Stampede, I was just petrified. I mean, scared to death. You know, I was 17, and I don't know how many barrels I hit, but like Hallie Wagenbaugh told me, he said, you hit everything that was moving and standing, he said. So it was kind of funny. I was just a kid. I mean, and running against what I figured were the old guys, all the old veterans. And the first year, I think I finished 8th at the Calgary Stampede, and was just happy to get out of there with a paycheck and my life, to be honest with you.
No kidding. Well, you could be going for your 13th victory here. What do you need to do in the next handful of nights to get there?
Well, I think, you know, I'm running steady. I mean, there's a lot of guys with power. Kurt Bentz Miller, you know, on top of the heap, last year's champ. He got a taste of that victory, and he kind of likes it, you know, and he's keeping things together. I look for him to be really tough. Aubrey Mata-Willow's right there, too. And but if I'm sitting 8th, if I can stay in deep, I'm going to make it interesting. I'll put some pressure on those kids. If they win it, they'd have to beat me, and that'll be quite a feat. I think, if you know, I've just been hanging in, haven't been throwing any big runs, but last night was what we call the eliminator. Yeah. I mean, it just looked like mayhem out there. There was barrels and mud and rain, and every once in a while you hit them, and some of the tough guys go off to the side. So I've watched so many stampedes here. It's just crazy. And you know, if there's any advice for those drivers and those young guys, I mean, they got to have patience. I mean, it's only day 5, you know. When you get on stage, is another 5 days away. So I mean, take your time, have patience, don't push yourself. So you only gamble the last night when all the marbles are out. Like, that's when you can gamble, because it don't matter. You either win or lose it. So, but
put it all on the line.
Yeah, you got to get there, though. That's the big thing. You got to get to that final, because you can't win it when you're looking on the outside. I've been there too, and you cannot win it if you're not in that heat.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. There you go. Words of wisdom here from Kelly Sutherland. Thumbs up. We love it. You never know what's going to happen here, and it's not over until it's over, guys.
Thumbs up, hey? He always is doing that to the crowd.
He's the guy who knows, the king. More from Stampede Park coming up.